Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley. Welcome to a special outdoor edition of Virginia Heart of the Home. Today we're going to be working with some great local pork product from Autumn Olive Farms. I've got a pork tenderloin here. So we're going to start with the pork tenderloin itself, get it out of its package. You're going to pull that pork tenderloin out. So we're going to take some delicious spices now. We have got some cumin, some coriander, some cinnamon, black pepper, and salt. We're going to start with that. It's about 3/4 teaspoon of the cumin and the coriander, and then about 1/2 teaspoon of the cinnamon. Cinnamon can be a little strong. I wouldn't go as heavy on that as the other two. And then we want about 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper in there, and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, considering I have my spices in my little cup here, we're just going to pop a lid back on there and mix those up. And we want to mix our spices up, as I said, and we're going to coat our tenderloin. Does not need to sit for any length of time. It really doesn't. It's just not going to take very long at all to cook. You just want to get it nice and coated with your spices. Our burner's already been warming up, so we should be ready to go. Now, this is a smaller one. It's not going to take as long to cook, but technically you want about 5 minutes on each side. I would recommend that you get a timer for that. After 5 minutes, turn it. 5 more minutes, turn it. 5 more minutes, turn it, and then the last 5 minutes, and you're done. Considering how small this is, I think this is going to take more like about 15 minutes. So we'll be right back, and we'll show you how to finish it up. We're going to pull it out of the pan, and we're going to let it rest. Resting a piece of meat after you've cooked it is crucial. If you go to cut into that right now, all those delicious juices you've worked so hard to seal in are going to escape. So you want to let that rest for that reason alone. Now I've got this nice, delicious sauce base on the bottom. This is what we call fond. And what we're going to do is we're going to deglaze the pan. You hear that word and you think, oh my gosh, it's something fancy, but it's really not. We're going to pour in a little bit of pomegranate juice. Kind of how much? Well, it depends on what size the pork tenderloin is. So we're going to go right to the middle there. That is probably about maybe 3/4 cup. That's actually kind of a pretty perfect amount. 100% pomegranate juice is definitely what you want to use here. Take a whisk and start scraping all that delicious bits of goodness off the bottom of the pan. Make sure your pan returns to a boil, or your sauce returns to a boil. It's going to start thickening up fairly quickly, and you're going to let it reduce. While that's reducing, you've got a little bit of cornstarch waiting on the side there. It's about 3/4 teaspoon. You want to add about a tablespoon of water. And you want to get in there with the whisk on that. Cornstarch acts as a thickener. It is gluten-free. So that's gluten-free, and see that people can eat this recipe. Now we're going to come back to that pomegranate juice, which is reduced a little bit. And now we're going to come back and add that cornstarch slurry. Get that in there. It's going to come back to a boil. I can already see it thickening up, which is great. Oh, this is perfect. So after it's thickened up, you can turn the heat off. If you happen to get it too thick, add a little bit more pomegranate juice, maybe add a little chicken stock, even a little water, and that will help thin it out. Just be very conservative with that if you have to do it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to cut it on the same cutting board that I did the spices on. I've got it on a board here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Oh, this is just perfect. Look at that. Beautiful, nice and light pink. Can you tell I've done this once or twice? This is what I like to do, is go ahead and slice it. Put it on a nice serving platter or on your plate. My son actually will stand at the stove and decide to eat it there. Now you can come back with a nice spoon. Well, I did forget to add a little bit of butter. Let me go ahead and do that. Finish it off with a little bit of butter at the end. That residual heat is certainly going to take care of that. Now you can drizzle that beautiful sauce that you've just reduced and made right over top of that gorgeous pork tenderloin. And such a pretty color. and it's healthy. And there you have it. Pomegranate pork tenderloin. Thank you for joining us today for Virginia Heart of the Home. We're glad you're here, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment on the pork tenderloin, and join us again.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com, and visit Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.